I got a message yesterday on Facebook. Basically, this Portuguese fellow who makes panniers in Portugal, he wants to sort me out with panniers. Sweet! And that's just a few days after I sent a mail to a different company somewhere to sort me out with a top case, which I'll have to cancel now. But it puts me in a bit of a dilemma. It changed things up a bit. I'll show you why. So, look at that. They have cases which aren't square, which is a big plus for me, and they can come in black. So what I was going to do originally is get a big top case. I was going to go for 52 liters somewhere else and go for dry bags, and that's because I know I'm going to fall again. It's what happens. If you want to ride and have a bit of fun, it can happen even more. And that's how I like to ride, and Alp is especially up for fun now. But then I saw these like, and you know what? I like panniers. I like panniers a lot. And then I have these, which are even nicer. And they have that edge, that diagonal bit, which would be perfect if I would face that to the front of the bike, because when you get high impacts you want to have a square impact but a deflective impact. Anyway, I love the look, but you know, like I said, main thing about panniers that is a drawback for me: one, they catch wind a lot when there's a lot of wind, therefore you use more fuel. Two, whenever they fall, it's a hassle. It's a really big hassle, and I've spent time and money on the racks, on the panniers. Free, but something I learned to live with: high impacts on your foot. I've had them. I've had my heels hit so hard, times and a half where it was really hard. And one time I think I was about inches away from breaking my foot in a very casual situation, but I noticed it and I stopped it. But you know, the chance is there. But I've lived with it. I've gotten used to riding it with them. It can be pretty heavy though. That's maybe a third or fourth point. So that had me in a situation like, what's it going to be? What's it going to be? But they also offer a soft luggage option. Now I'm leaning again back to my original setup, which was big top case for your valuables. Now they already make a 42 liter version, which is already bigger than your standard square box, which is what I'm looking for, but still on the small size. But Hugo was cool enough and he said, look man, get to us some information, we'll make it the size. Now that is something I can work with, and because of that I think I'm going to go for a big case at the top. Because, you know, like I do the filming, I do the editing, in the future I would really like a drone. How I'm going to sort that out, I don't know yet, because funds and all that, but it's something in the making. That's where all the valuables will go in there, and then all my riding stuff can go in the dry bags. It's going to be an experiment with that. I want to have fun, but at the same time I don't want to worry about too much about my more valuable stuff. So I think it's a best of both worlds. And I really liked these last years having a top case with me, so I want to keep that up. Sweet ass. So I got to do some measurements of the old panniers. So at the widest we got 270, and the lesser width is about 250, because I want to check. Look, see how square these are. The other one that they offer have this, and like I said, I love panniers. I really like them, and the rack is just fucking ruined. But the way I'm going to ride and the way and the place I'm going to go, I really want soft luggage, and I had my mind set with that kind of design. If I keep the panniers small, maybe I can work with that. So I'm measuring up these here. That's 480. If they're smaller and narrower than these, it puts me a bit in the middle, because I really like panniers. Here we are wasting a substantial amount of time on the racks again. If they're smaller, compacter, they might negate a bit of their flaws. If they have that incline, it might stop it from, here, I'll show you. This is what happens when panniers like this hit the ground first. But when you have an incline like this, you want to, I thought about that before, you know, even while riding. If panniers have that, it will suffer less impact. I think there's a lot less drag, a lot less force on the pannier. might just be speculation, but that's just what I think from experience. Maybe bring them up even higher on the rack and more to the back. See, I've always wanted mine to be more to the back. Keep them away from your legs, but that will mean more weight on your suspension though, so.
Whoa. That was my ass swinging.
Anyway, it's not as clear cut to me as it previously was, but we'll figure this out. This is my little camera woman for this morning. Oh. One of the big downsides of panniers is that if they sustain falling damage, they will start ripping and breaking over time. Well, what happened to these panniers is a bit extreme though. But before that, after the first drop, for example, already the bracket started to break and you started to have little rip in the aluminium, and that grew over time. And then especially any cracks at one point when I was in Tajikistan or Mongolia, so really hitting the off-road, small cracks become big cracks really easy. But I like them. I like the ease of them.
It's too early for this.
And the waterproofness and a certain safety aspect. Oh, this lock, this was nothing. This stuff stays dry, but only while they're still good, because the moment they start to become a bit damaged, water might start getting in more easily. The ones I can get now are a lot nicer than these, and a bit more aerodynamic, I reckon. These did a very good job, but for what I'm doing now, I need something a bit more up to the task. The ruler there, this is, I think, how much saddlebags, soft luggage will stick out at most. This is about 800 mil wide, the ruler, and with the exhaust here, so 220 would stick out more or less to there. If the exhaust would be more inward, it would be a minor difference. Really contemplating this, because as I said, I do like panniers. Another line, another dot, another chalk up for saddlebags, because this is bullshit. But there's the Pannier on the right. Never again racks. And I think you can still have fun with panniers on there. Alright, looks like I've been having too much fun again. Coming at an angle, having a great time on this dirt road. Hit that rock. The pannier was low enough to hit it. Coming through the bend. Here's all my shit. But when you're having fun, and even when you're not having fun, the bike will drop, and that's when panniers start to lose their charm. It's great for picking them up. But once they start to become damaged, it's not as good. Here's the thing with South America. If you ever looked up a story or two, you'll see that every half decent South America trip, there's a lot of mud involved. If you decide to take tracks on roads that are a bit more out there. Even under normal circumstances, some roads there can be pretty sketchy. Riding through gravel, soft sand, that I've managed well with panniers. I've had the high impacts on my heels. Oh man, trust me, like at times and a half it was really bad. Also, as I became better of a rider, I started putting my foot down a lot less. Sometimes it does save you though, but you just don't put a late foot, put it more. It's tough, but it's an instinct thing. The mud's something else. You can go on there with your 50/50. For example, your Heidi's, your K60s have been taking real good care of you. 50/50 tires have been fantastic in the off-road. You hit the mud, it's over. Just like that. Mud, even with knobbies, is still a different game. But mud is unpredictable. Your front goes, your rear goes, it's a mess. And you know, you have little ruts that take you in all directions. Mud can be the real challenge in my experience. That's when these become a liability. That's what I'm thinking for South America. So I was setting on an idea, in part because of the financial aspect too, because I definitely couldn't afford a big pannier set, that's one. So I was going to go with the soft and a big hard top case. But it's like I said before, these cases implemented something that I thought about quite often on my trip, and that is this big diagonal. Less chance of it hitting your ankle, and it will not hit the road square when they go down. I must have still been doing 70 here. Longest slide ever. Just rotating around itself. Of course, ripping off the pannier. They will hit the road at an angle. Theoretically, the moment you go down, this becomes straight and it should slide. Takes a lot of pressure off the hinges in that case. A part of me wants to show that you can still have great fun and still be out there. And like South America, for me, I want to do a lot of off-road. You can still be out there. And you can still have panniers on. If I don't have them on, that's minus 10 kilos for the panniers, minus 5 kilos for the rack, minus 15 kilos. But I think if I go for the dry, I still need a rack. So no, minus 10 kilos. So I save on that. As you can see, I really like panniers. So there we are. That pannier design has put me in a bit of a situation that it's close, but my riding heart says try the soft bags, but my overall look and comfort side says go with these. Go with panniers. Oh, that's much better. That's how it should be. More, much closer. Look at that. Temporarily zip tie this. Package. Awesome. Oh, that's me. Awesome. Thank you. So with the exhaust now, 220 sits here. So put the old one here with some distance to the exhaust because that's where the rack is going to be. It comes about, so that's 100 mil wider than the pannier, than the soft bags will be. Right, so I'll be doing some measurements here. So the box I was going to order was going to be 50 long, 35 deep, and 33 high. So nice and wide box. 50 centimeters. Oh, that's basically just as wide as the current GV. That other one that I was going to get was going to be higher, 33, with about 15 centimeters, about 336. Right, this box width and depth is about the same size as what I'm thinking about doing. Gotta adjust height. What is this? What do I have? It's not just be a square monstrosity, but they're going to have the modern edges. Take off the GV top box, trusty top box which has seen better days. Zip tie and old dry bag clip. So this is higher. You know what? I think this will do. I'll just take this on my travels. Alright, really glad that I built a model. 500. Couldn't resist to make an updated model. Here we go. New and improved top box. Version 0.2. We're still in the beta phase here. Right, another update. Version 0.3. Change log. We added about 15 centimeters of height. You know what? I think the first solution that I had, top box and soft luggage, is the best combination. It's the best of both worlds. In regards to off-roading, I just know that I won't regret the soft bags. And then in regards to comfort and safety, I won't regret the top box. I think that is just the ideal combination. The reason why I'm going so much back and forth on this is it's just recent and new information. The guys are gonna make the top pannier for me and the rack, and it all has to come here and be created in about a month and a bit, so there's not a lot of time. I should have had the measurements and information yesterday already. Now, only one downside with the top box, and it happened when I had the GV on, which is just slightly smaller of what I'm designing now, is that I broke the top frame here, the top rear, right around here. Now, it might have also been because it's really easy to put too much pressure on this point here with this bolt that slightly pulls the frame inward, and here's the other mounting point, so you put pressure here, so I got to avoid that. But anyway, this is a weak point. So the choice between hard or soft luggage is a big part of preparing an adventure riding trip. And when I left Holland a few years ago, I prepped the trip in the month or less, and all I knew was I need panniers, I need a rack. Boom, got that, and off I went. And now I have a lot more experience and have developed certain preferences and ideas.
Have you finished?
No, we haven't finished, but the design has come together too. We're in the culminating stages. Right.
Yep.
Right.
Which at first, of course, when you start out, you are unfamiliar with. So these were my thoughts and ruminations on the subject. What do you guys think? What is your preference? What would you have done? And how do you usually go on about your way with luggage on the road? Let me know in the comments. Alright, I'm going to send this info now to Portugal. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video preparing for the Pan American expedition. See ya.
Well, sometimes you do hit some things back. Like the GoPro a couple of times, especially the mirror. Now it's rockier again. I'm not impressed I'm not standing up. Usually I would stand up, but I guess a good practice sitting down and offloading. Whoa! That was the front wheel bouncing about. These mirrors to take it back.